jobs in the neighborhood and already poised to expand. And we own a lot right next to the plant. So if the grant is successful, we would enter into an agreement with our Supremes whereby we can both pass through the cleanup grant and transfer the property over to the Canadian company so that they can then clean it up, build the building, and create more jobs. I'll allow you just a minute to talk about that project.
Yes, so we currently, our numbers, just to talk about what we do, manufacture picture frames and home decor. Everything's custom. We currently have about 80 employees. Right now, we moved from Brooklyn a couple years ago. So this project will help us, grow our team right now. We currently have 80 employees. This will help us project about 25, 30 jobs. What we're going to do is use it for storage. Right now, a lot of our storage is in our current facility at River Street with the manufacturing. This will allow us to create more space in the facility and to hire more, more employees.
About a 10,000 square foot expansion. The existing plant, you can believe it, the existing plant is already 50,000 square feet. So really honored to have Mr. Minsky as a partner here in the city. He's doing really great work. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
Alex, any questions? Go ahead. I'll start with a comment, which is I just really appreciate your company and how many Fairhaven residents we've hired. It's a great contribution to the neighborhood. And my question is just about the match from your company and to the grant. What is the criteria for you have a private match from companies or is it from crowd? How does that get decided? For you.
Sure. So this is part of the River Street Municipal Development Plan. So for many years, we have both paired land, the value of land with the commercial industrial records with private investment. And there's a room for that, sort of scaling our investment relative to the overall project. This is substantial given that it's growing an existing and the retention piece. Helen is on vacation, so I can't give you the exact number, and Helen will arrive from that. About 186,000 combination of the land value and the grant. You will see that as part of the development agreement on the grant process.
Okay, so sorry, just to clarify, so the city's match is 186,000.
Correct. And those are out of our existing funds and value. Okay.
And then the company's contribution is
about $1 million. About $1 million.
Okay, great, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? So the 750,000 is a pass through from us to the French company.
Correct.
I understood that correctly. And who will make sure to provide how that needs to be spent?
So there's a licensed environmental professional which we brought on by the company that oversees the cleanup, and then we get someone who peer reviews that, and then the state also has to do a final closeout. So that could take a couple of years to get to final closeout, but there's a kind of a series of checks and balances as well.
Okay, so the 70K, 750K is on top of the 1 million and the 186.
It's national matters. So we get the grant, which we're hopeful we wrote the grant. Mr. Minsky and Will Harper make a full presentation about cleaning up the site where the engineers stand behind. If that goes well and we're awarded the grant, we will pair that with the development agreement, and that will go to the development commission first within the district, and then it'll come to you for review and approval.
Okay, and if for some reason we don't get the grant,
We keep chugging away at it. We'll try to figure it out.
will the project move forward?
We also hoping for it.
With
We need the space. One way or another.
to try and make it happen. Okay. All right. Any further questions? Okay. No? We're good? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, which is for Fulton Terrace.
Good evening.
And welcome. State your name and address for the record before you begin your.
Ronald Esposito. I live at 8 Woodman Shirt, Walmart.
Greg Gerbo at 243 Eastwood Drive, Newbury, Connecticut.
And again, like this is only a county administrator, 353 South Street, New Haven. Laid the groundwork as you said in the last application. Same sort of thing here. Long-standing partner in the city, in the Esposito and Gateway Terminal. You'll start to see more of these. We're very close to the Department of Transportation winding down the I-95 project to make that available at the rate of use. Bunch of property in and around 95 that will be storage, down, buy. In this particular situation, there's a rental next to and adjacent to a Esposito already, and has negotiated a deal with Gateway, which would enable the construction of a new 28,000 square foot facility, supporting Gateway's growth very close to the port, so it reduces some of the traffic and other impacts, if you will. We're excited about it. $200,000 investment cleanup, which we're asking for your support today in DC money, translates into what we think is somewhere around $5 million in this value for the city. And I'll let Esposito and the team here talk a little about that.
We currently own property adjacent to this piece of property. We've been in New Haven for 72 years. I own a trucking company in that facility that's on Edgemere Road. We also developed a 10.5 acre parcel in the harbor many years back, which is called the North Yard, which it was the old U.S. Steel site. We completely refurbished a 100,000 square foot warehouse, which is still there today. We built a new 35,000 square foot warehouse adjacent to that, and we had a 4 acre parcel on the waterfront. So we have experience in refurbishing and constructing. And Greg here came to us, his company Gateway's been also in the harbor for many years, and they're growing, and we talk, and hopefully we get this done for Greg and Gateway to put on the 20,000 warehouse, which should accommodate Gateway.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit more to that. Those who are unfamiliar with the port and what Gateway Terminal does, we import and export cargo. Really the main hub for any kind of port activity in Connecticut. A lot of what we handle is raw steel, lumber that goes into manufacturing, really supports the area. Over the past couple of years, we've experienced some exponential growth and have definitely had congestion in the port, and one of our most limiting factors with growth is having the ability to expand onto neighboring parcels. And so this partnership allows us to kind of reuse this site for pushing more product and potentially more jobs. We currently employ around 130 people, expecting more. We just had a big kind of courted, for those of you followed news, this company out of Brooklyn, Stack Modular, courted them up to Connecticut. So we're expecting a lot of growth there, and a lot of new material going to be coming in, and the need for exporting these modular units. Also, this warehouse can help with bringing in steel products in the port and help to really flourish and push on that growth. Thank you.
So unlike the last project, the city has no direct engagement. We don't own the land. There will be no development agreement. It's fully Esposito's project and relationship with the Gateway, but we would be passed through if the grant is awarded, which will make it available to Esposito, and then that same process kicks in with their placements, environmental professional doing all the work, the cleanup, and then we evaluate manifest, make sure everything was done properly. We send that to the state for final sign off, and that's how it closes out.
Now, has this property been acquired? It says proposing to acquire.
It's in the process.
Okay, so, but it will happen.
Yes,
And it
it
needs,
should.
and it needs mediation, obviously, because you're applying for this grant. And if for some reason, it's the same question I asked the previous gentleman, if for some reason it doesn't happen.
Well, I'm hoping it does happen because I've already spent quite a bit of money with my environmental engineer. We already did the work, a lot of the work, the testing and what has to be done. So that part's all done. So we're gonna keep going.
Okay. You know, the last thing we want to do is see property that's unfinished, and we want to make sure that whoever's responsible will continue to work regardless of
Right.
what happens, just for so many reasons. And you mentioned the trucking. This is going to expand. Is it going to expand the amount of trucks that are going to be coming in and out due to that facility that it's exciting? They're leaving Boston, right, to come
New York, yeah.
to New York, a lot of company.
Well, when I mentioned trucking, I currently know my family was in the trucking business, and my dad started in New Haven, and we've been here ever since. So,
But will the number of trucks coming in and out increase due to all this new business coming in?
It's hard to say just really yes or no. I mean, both facilities, the Gateway Terminal is on rail. The facility that the school kept modular is also on rail, so we have the potential to utilize rail. This warehouse is not directly on rail, but we're within half a mile of the rail spur, so any incremental traffic would be really a negligible distance to get to a rail spur.
So with rail, you still need trucks to take it from port to the rail.
From this location, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And how will that affect traffic? Are you doing that now?
there's,
Because I see a lot with the, what is it, those trucks on East.
So we can talk about it. So we have a tussle periodically with Gateway. The golf aisles, Beach Street, there are some else, and part of that is because land has not been available in the port. We created a port, 66 acres, specifically to enhance proximity, so that we didn't see trucks all over the neighborhoods. So what, between building a building, it's actually creating indoor space, and doing it so close to the docks is exactly the same policy position, and why we're excited to support this project. Otherwise, it's just going to go farther and frustrating for the neighbors and the city.
And that's what I want to make sure, that the residents that are close by are not affected, or minimally
Right.
Absolutely. We'd love to be consolidated to a closer proximity. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for that. Questions from the committee members? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the quote.
Ms. Caselli, we'll move on to item number 4, which is for the 612 plaza.
So, call the Craig Mitchell.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Paul McCraven, under the 50 Stonehenge Place, Cheshire.
Michael Piscatelli, Economic Development Administrator, City of New Haven, and I reside at 353 South Street, New Haven. I'm really excited to present project number 3 for round 17 of the DC Brownfields program. We'll go into great detail about the Dixwell Plaza conversion to contract lease at Dixwell. You've seen it many times. The development agreement that you approved is transformative. It's inspiring to all of us who've been working on it. And I have to say the perseverance on the team to figure it out, like inflationary pressures and acquiring all the cities closed on its pieces. We're excited to move across the street with Bill outside in a couple of weeks. The readiness is just about there. And Paul and the team who worked so hard to dispose the file bits, the budget gap, and excited to support this pass through compared with the prior pass through. Should DC approve it, and I'll let Paul talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Good evening. We are very close to breaking ground on the demolition. As some steps that we've taken, we've had approval from State Historical Preservation Office in terms of any type of historical issues. We now have done a total assessment on environmental and the hazardous materials that are in the buildings, which turn out to be significant, more than we usually had. Our construction manager had usually estimated like 4 times as high. So the costs are starting to get higher. So this money would be really helpful in terms of that remediation. But we're looking potentially to do the demolition in the next 60 days. If it all goes well, we would like to, everything will come down except for 2 buildings, where the Hill Health Center currently is, where the bank used to be, and then the police substation. So those would stay up. We would fence off the buildings, all the other buildings, and would leave the parking lots available for the public, and would try to contain that demolition in a fenced off area. And so we're now, the contractor is going to be looking to go out to bid to get bids on demolition work. We're working with the city to make sure we meet all the city requirements in terms of workforce development. So we're hoping to move forward shortly.
You've come a long way.
Yeah.
Lots of patience. You mentioned the parking lot stay as is for now. Is that,
Correct.
all due because the Hill Health hasn't moved out yet?
Yes, but it'll stay even when they, for now, it's still.
Okay, so those buildings that you mentioned will not be torn down at all?
Not at the time being,
Okay.
not for a while. Eventually, yes. If our plans materialize in this, on that second phase, which is the area near Charles Street, which is the northern part. We'll be pretty much starting with the Leicester Street side. Moving forward.
Do you know what the total cost of remediation is for that? Is the
Well,
property based on the?
Right now, somewhere, they're looking at somewhere between $8 and $10 million. And that's site work included.
Okay.
And demolition.
And were you able to get the other grant? I mean, we approved
The
it
$2 million grant, this would be.
in addition to, and I'll ask the same question, and I think I asked you even the last time you were here. If for some reason this $4 million doesn't happen, I think you said the last time that you would continue the project.
Right, we'd have to try to find other sources. We have a bank from the loan, but.
Well, I think, if I may jump in, we all should advocate specifically for this grant to close the deal and get into construction. What Paul is being nice about it, but, we're somewhat talking about the work that Congress assembled this private financing, another interest rate hike yesterday, whatever it was. So this is really important, and I think we've got, something far back to put a strong application. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your thought?
I don't. Any questions from Alder Miller?
It's just the same question. Is there a city match on this as well?
Not in this particular grant, this is straight away past our contributions, and the deal were all articulated through the
So
development.
there's nothing
previously.
beyond the
Nothing.
development. Okay. Thank you.
Questions, comments? You said 60 days and we're going to start demolition?
Well,
That's the goal?
That's the goal, and whether we can, it's a challenge, but clearly, that's our target.
Congratulations on that, at least. If there are no further questions, you are free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time tonight, very much appreciate it.
Have a good night. The next item on the agenda is item number 5, Director Winters. Sorry, Winter. I should know better.
Good evening, Chair Festa, Co-Chair Singh, and members of the committee. Stephen Winter, Executive Director of Climate and Sustainability, 459 Newcastle Avenue. And I'm here to discuss our community partnership application. So the Community Partnership Initiative is a grant program run by United Illuminate to increase participation and activity these utilities energy efficiency programs. And the city has never applied before, so it's going to be a first for us. And we are applying a partnership with River Housing Services, who has a green program called I Heart Home, where they have these energy navigators or counselors who can coach you through all the various different rebates, incentives, tax credits for everything from energy efficiency and solar to electric vehicles and heat pumps. So if you wanted to move over to a heat pump. This goal of this grant would be to focus on our state designated environmental justice census blocks, census tracts in West Rock, West Hills, New Hallville, Dixwell, The Hill, Fairhaven, and the Annex. And we'd be really interested in trying to reach residents who parent, income eligible residents, and residents for whom English is not their primary language. And we'd be focused on using this counseling program that I Heart My Home has to really push folks to go beyond just getting their energy audit, weather sealing, weatherization, to move on towards the deeply subsidized insulation and also window upgrades. And then to keep working with them to try to work on whole home electrification. So we're really excited about it, and we utilize a variety of outreach methods to work with community organizations to get out the word, get folks enrolled in the
So the 50,000 is going towards advising.
Roughly half go directly to the advisors and counselors, and the other half will be used for getting folks out to campus and organizing it to get the word out. But it's roughly split.
Okay, so it's mostly for outreach or half for outreach. And once, if we get this, would it stop us from doing that anyway? Because there are programs out there and some that are coming possibly at the end of the year that you presented to us a couple months ago, which was great information. Is that going to work hand in hand with this?
Yeah, this is just a way to work closely with utilities and create a structure for some of the outreach, but it doesn't preclude us from doing any other kind of work with NHS or other community partners or publicizing other programs. Like today we announced a partnership with PodGen, which is a solar developer that focuses on providing systems to low and moderate income homeowners. So we're working on things like that, and certainly interested in continuing to push energy efficiency and electrification outside.
Questions from colleagues?
I have a question. Now, will this be seniors or is homeowners? What's going to be criteria for it?
It could be renters or owners, it could be seniors or young folks, but we are really focused on these target neighborhoods and on increasing the amount of income eligible residents, so 60% of the county area median income or below, and also Spanish speakers or other folks for whom English is not their primary language, and then renters.
Okay, now will this be for them or do they have to pay?
Yeah, the audit side would be free, and then a lot of the installation and window work is either low cost or no cost, depending on things like the income level, what the current heating system is. There's formulas that go into that, but for the installation, a lot of that has been completely free.
Okay.
One second.
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tracton. Item number 6.
And we'll also join by a lead from Jack.
Wonderful. And just a reminder, state your name and address for the record, please.
Evan Trackton, Acquisition and Disposition Coordinator for Logistics Initiative, 165 Church Street, 3rd floor, New Haven, Connecticut.
And I'm Lee Dunn, interim executive director gathering, the rest is 470 James Street, New Haven.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the city of New Haven has a long history of working together, and over the last few years, crossing the Haven Haven, and New Haven Farms merged to become the Haven New Haven. And so we had separate leases that were previously approved. What we're proposing to do is merge them all into one full lease. We're not really at any sites. We're going to take one site away. We recently reached out about removing a site on Pass Street. And I think a big part of the land use policy for the city of New Haven, we do this for a 5-year period so that the city as a whole can reevaluate where we're at with development. And we've reviewed this. We're not looking at any of these sites. We find great value in the community garden program. We see neighbors coming together. We see health benefits, educational benefits. We think it's a really feel-good activity. And we absolutely urge your support to continue the sites listed in front of you. I did some calculations for the committee, and it is approximately just over 3 acres of land that we utilize for this program. The assessed value is approximately $1 million for all of these parcels. So it's not really a huge opportunity cost, given that the city retains ownership, and down the road we can shift gardens around if we choose to develop. Not that that's going to happen, but just saying we control the land. The Board of Alders ultimately controls all the land, and we think this is currently a great use. I've worked for the city for over 20 years. And I've really seen how gardens can bring stability on certain streets. Specifically, my experience in the Hill neighborhood, we're looking at Stephen Street Garden, the garden on Arthur Street that Jamila Rashida's field drinks. I've seen that really impact the block in a positive way. So I really want to urge your support. I think it's a great program.
Would you like to add?
I'm new to the Haven. In this world for 4 months since I heard what they do to Haven. I'm very impressed with the person who grew up in the city, by the natural resources here and how much people appreciate them, between the rocks and evidence and the farms and the waterfront. And Gather is very committed to, sharing that and encouraging more people to be involved with towards just for the health of the community.
And I know previously some of the vegetables that were grown went to, correct me if I'm wrong, diabetics.
Yeah, we have one of our 6 programs is plant-based wellness program. So some of the lands we give as farms, and most of them are gardens. On the farms, we grow food and manage that growing, and most of the food is used for the diabetes prevention program. We call it plant-based wellness. And that's actively recruiting at the start of May, end of the month.
Can I add something also?
Absolutely.
That years ago, LCI focused on, this was more of a New Haven Farms project, but the garden on Ferry Street, as well as the one on English Street, we really helped the New Haven Farms got a grant that allowed some investment in it, and they added a greenhouse. And so it's really like an urban farm. And I know the goal of the city, the folks who are really focused on urban farming, to me, it's really a success story that I don't think we highlight enough, but we have a beautiful urban farm in Fairhaven right now. it's unfortunate we can't really expand it, but, if there were future tax foreclosures, I would hope we could push it down the street, and then it would connect to what's known as the English Street Mall open area. So I just think we've been really focused on this in a very programmatic and comprehensive way. So our gardens have been very strategic, and we really tried to spread them out across the city where the city acquired lands. We focused on creating big gardens, but then we also focused on prioritizing sliver lots, which are theoretically not usable, to get the highest and best use out of it. So I think, this committee should know that a lot of thought has gone into where the gardens are and the management of them. And I think Gavin has been doing a very good job serving the residents.
And why remove that from the street?
They had a problem years ago with the person who was next door, who was managing the garden, utilizing the water to water their cars. So there wasn't a lot of community input. So when one person is tending a garden, it's not really a community garden. And so, that's basically my understanding of the situation.
And what's going to happen with that piece of property?
That's actually now, I think, managed by a different neighborhood group through LCI in like more of an informal garden. This is a very formal agreement where, there's a whole certificate of insurance. We work with some other entities where LCI is kind of like in charge of a small garden. We've done that for years. And, sometimes groups come forward and they want to take over and do a 1-year license agreement. We have that flexibility without going through the Board of Alders to do 1-year agreements. But in this case, this is a 5-year agreement that requires your approval. I had suggested maybe putting in the option for renewal, but people have told me it's better to just come back every 5 years instead of just keep renewing it. So the board can review what we're doing here.
And if for some reason, which I hope it doesn't happen, where everything just kind of fails, and if these gardens are done away with within that 5 years, do we just recoup the property? Is that?
Right, the lease has terms of termination and the city taking it back. So we should provide notice to the gathering agency that we're terminating the lease. We have to give notice, or they can tell us we don't want to do this garden anymore. We don't have a group on it. I think we return the land. It doesn't require that we could basically do that if it's necessary. We haven't done it. We really value the work that they do, and so I think that would be highly unlikely.
I would just add to that I believe they're very stable, and one of it is the by design. I mentioned we manage the farms, and we have a farm stand on Ferry Street where some of the excess produce is sold, so that's kind of nice, and the neighbors really like that. But the majority of the land, community gardens, and they're really operated individually by the local community, and so they're all very unique, and they're not going to do anything at the same time because they are operated individually, and I think that provides a lot of stability.
Thank you. Questions?
Thank you for the work you do. I appreciate it. Gardens that don't are those owned by gather, like acres?
Yes.
Okay. So they're not other leases with other properties, it's all city or owned by gather?
Mostly. We're negotiating right now a private lease, and Phoenix Press, we were at a farm there for 10 years, and by just a handshake, but they sold the building, and so we're losing that farm, but able to rent some space from a private individual.
Great. It sounds great to me. There's a way to apply.
Many of them. And we have a full-time staff person. We also have a group of district coordinators that help us connect with and communicate with the individual garden coordinators. So there's a system of communication and providing services.
I did my great gift gather today, so.
So thank you. Yes, the work that is being done, and I visited actually the one by Phoenix Press, which was very impressive. And I think we're only going to grow. I'm optimistic that we will grow because people are becoming more and more health conscious, and they want to eat. So,
Which is add one of the benefits we feel maybe doesn't get talked about. The gardens have served as a social a social area, especially in the pandemic, where people to be outdoors. And, interacting with people is very, very important.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for your partnership. I want to say the city's been doing this for many decades, and it's borne fruit, and it's seems like we're woven into the fabric of the city.
Any other questions? Questions from Kyle? All right, seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Have a good night.
For your work. Okay, we will now move on to item number 7, Urban Forest Council. Good evening.
Good evening.
Annie Maxwell, 19 Laurelwood Drive, Wallingford.
And calling with genetics. So we're here today to present the 37 collections in Connecticut Urban Forest Council. As every time we come, we have questions about trees. We've got the full team, and we're also fortunate to have a couple of other activities that are coming up that fit in with the grants as well. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Annie. Start us off with the immediate one.
Yes, so this grant here is for $37,000 from the Connecticut Urban Forest Council. It's a grant that we had applied for in the beginning, weren't awarded, they received more money, and we were like number 6. So they took us back in and we were awarded, and this money will be used to remove stumps and trees in our environment in the neighborhoods so that we can work more toward getting new trees planted and removing some of those barriers to replacing lost tree canopy.
And we know about that because we have a lot of planning work related to trees, especially in our neighborhoods. So with that, we're going to talk about the first opportunity that we're going to do to complement that and set it up for future. Is a planning grant that it's going to apply for.
So it's a really exciting time for forestry right now. The U.S. Forest Service just announced $1.5 billion in grant opportunities. It is a really quick process. It was just released. It is due June 1st. So they have a lot of, those have to, they can be citywide or environmental neighborhoods. So we've been making a lot in some ideas, but what the city will be applying for that one, we're going to move for you for that, is for a call management firm, sort of like a strategic vision of where we want to see urban forestry, like a vision for management and timber and addressing all of the needs of the different neighborhoods. And so that's one of the projects that will be included in the U.S. Forest Service funding.
And then on behalf of the Urban Resources Initiative, we are the partner, the nonprofit partner to the city for all the tree planting for the city. We have got a couple of things on. We got this Connecticut grant that the city got for stumps. We got one inventory. The city gave us $7,000 to do an inventory, and we got $20,000 more from the Connecticut Urban Forest Council. We used that to do EG neighborhoods to check the condition and map all of the trees in the Annex, Cedarville, Dwight, Dixwell, Fairhaven, The Hill, and West River. I'm going to pass just one little sheet here that shows you the count of trees that are in those. There are just over almost 9,000 trees in those neighborhoods. We also count the number of stumps, the number of standing dead trees, and also species, the diameter of the information is all mapped. It's in a new platform called TreeKeeper that Annie and I both access, and we both add updates. So we write we add that. We made stuff for the roots of trees, she adds that, so we're able to keep the inventory up to date. This summer, the city is giving another support. We will do new all this summer, and we'll continue to see additional funds to from other sources to continue to go to the neighborhoods of the city. But what this important helps us do, if you look on the back side, you can see this is just the distribution of stumps. So if you look on the chart, you notice that Fairhaven has the most stumps, but when you look at the see the kind of concentration of stumps, and that really prevents us from planting trees. So we're going to offer the same U.S. Forest grant, but we will only apply for the HE neighborhoods, and we will focus on just stump removals and tree planting. So I think these applications will complement each other, but we'll be working directly on the HE neighborhood while Annie's doing more of a citywide visioning for the whole city. And I guess the last thing I should say, these are 5-year grants, and we're fingers crossed that we'll both be successful with both applications, and we'll write support letters for each other.
So,
Sorry.
just not to confuse anything, we wanted to talk about those two in complement to this, just so you knew how it fit in with the pieces of the puzzle. This is a small opportunity for larger opportunities, and like Annie said, the next one's getting communicated for your next meeting, but it's a big picture that all fits together, so.
Yeah. Did you wanna? Well, I was just gonna say that the Forest Service that Colleen was talking about for the summer meeting, it's just a way to create some of the burden on city staff so that we focus more on risk and trees and get some of those stumps off of our backlog that, and hopefully really make a dent in it.
Okay, so this 37 lawsuits for environmental justice communities, right? So what happens to the other communities that have had stumps for years? Will those be reviewed by the city at some point? And what takes priority? How is it going to all be scheduled? And completed, and what's the time frame?
So for this grant, the 37,000 doesn't go very far in tree care. It should get us about 1,500 inches on. So, 30-inch stumps will get 50 of them, and then 14 to 15 trees. Those will be selected based on ones that have been there the longest, best environmental justice. Work as normal will proceed throughout the city overall in tree removal and stump removal, though.
Maybe I could just add, if we're successful and get this, and we're able to, you or I won't do it anyway, it'll be contracted out, and we will do it in cooperation with Annie, even if we're writing the check and receiving the federal funds. But imagine if those are gone, then suddenly Annie can focus on the other neighborhoods because these are getting addressed.
Any questions from members? Alder Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to address the question to Colleen, Madam Chair, but I want to be sure that she's comfortable in the answer and doesn't feel time pressure.
I'm happy to answer any question.
But, I'm a new alder, with this sworn in this past July, so I'm still learning the ropes a little bit, but I've been in New Haven and have been involved with community city interaction. I'm amazed, pleased, excited, and almost ecstatic about how you are has been able to work, except a non-city entity has been able to work with city service and have such a mutual bonding. Share with us a little bit about how that is happening, because there's need for other nonprofits to also perhaps partner more successfully with city services that are often overstretched and under lack of city employees. So your story, I think, would be helpful. I'm not sure everybody's.
I'm so grateful. Thank you for your comments. That's so kind of you. I'll say it's been a long partnership, and it's been one that has built trust over time. And we always recognize everything we're doing at the provision of it's the city's property, it's the city's land, it's the city's mandate. So we only are there by the grace of our relationship with the city. So I'm always mindful that we're only able to do this because the city has trust in us to do it. And I'll say that it started with the green space program, planting volunteers in parks in 1995. I've been part of it since that time. And the park directors initially started using fax machines. We have the fax over internet this particular location, and we get approval one by one. And over time, director said, you know, the trees that you're planting with volunteers are surviving better than the ones that when we hire a contractor. Do you want a contract to trees for us? So we asked our directors and they said, well, let's use it as an opportunity to hire people from the community who need jobs. So we started with high schoolers, and then we expanded to adults. We work with Emerge, that nonprofit, and hire people who have been incarcerated to work with us. But it's always been based on trust and working closely together. And whether it was the John DeStefano administration or the Tom Harper administration, it's always been through the staff. And now there's this, we work with staff very closely. It's like, we know we have our trees based on permanent land. That's at 180 Park Road. So we're just fortunate to have that relationship. And so even for this grant, we all half-day workshop together last week, including Steve Winter and other staff, to say like what would be most important for the neighbors and for the city, like what would be the best way for us to partner. So I think it's all just about talking together, trusting each other, and that doesn't happen all the time. Just recognizing each other's needs. I always have a motto of a partnership. Everybody has to invest, and everybody has to get a return on their investment. Like there's no free ride, and I feel like the work with Emerge or schools or the neighborhood groups, like the neighborhood volunteers are also investing, and we need to listen to them and what do they think is important, just like we need to listen to our city partners and do what they think is important. So it's kind of I think it's just the basis of our mission.
And I want to give alders a shout out too. The Board of Alders approved the source designation for URI for this program back in 2007. So we've been hand in hands longer than that. They became sole source contractor then, and each year for referrals. Yes.
And I would say that long-term trust has built our capacity. We're a small group, we're 5 staff, and 2 of them are half-time. And I think it's because of that work, like being able to do things right all the time and create and share data over time. So it's really, it's something I really value.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you for your question.
Madam Chair, with a comment,
Alder Streeter, Alderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is, how are the stuff like need to be, do residents, do blogs, research, or what's the criteria? So one to be part of that boom contact or in the city?
Right now, this happens every summer in those neighborhoods. So for the grant, we get it, we do every one of them. So there would be none. But right now, when we get a tree request for a tree to be planted, if there is a sump there, we put it on. We have like a Google share with communities. There's which ones are stumps that are places where someone wants a tree but can't be planted, so the stump is removed. And we have a back. And Annie's team still works on through the backup. We do have trees that are on hold to be planted until the stump is removed.
Okay.
And in terms of the overall stump inventory, we have a significant back on stumps because we do prioritize those standing, dead, disease, dying, and structurally unsound trees. So the first priority for our group are the trees and then the stumps. We do let new trees get requests to rely on stumps. So the best way to get implemented is to request new trees.
Okay, well, I see some farmed up. I see that chips are still there. So when do they do anything? When they have to be planted or what's going to have to stop, round it up, but it's on the tree plant?
So when city staff finds the sun, we leave it pretty flush. You know, like there's a tree in the hole, but there shouldn't be a mound. If you ever see them now, please send me meaning that we just, lost track of that. But city staff come in, we grind, and then leave it level. And they're not topsoil like for grass seed and stuff.
What I see, like I said, is find up, but basically the wood chip still was like kind of mounted up.
Okay, if you want to send me that location, I can certainly.
Okay, cool.
Make sure that We have had a loader issue for the past couple of days, so I know there are a couple piles out there right now.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And, thank you all. WCO, I thank you for collaborating with you here. And I'm a big applicant of the list and I'm always alive and represent the village. And I could see the list here, 443 and some 117. So I've been asking for this for some time. So this was makes me know that some action is going to happen with this grant. So I applaud you for first doing some data and see that these trees and some need to be addressed. And hopefully you could go with this grant and move on to more rights. Continue this.
I'm confident that we have a pretty strong, maybe I should talk about it, I don't know, Jason, but I'm confident that, you know, I know that they really want the Forest Service is pushing for projects in the communities and.
You know, as an alder, this is some requests we get almost once a week about trees and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we get this all, every meeting we attend, like that, we see all, because every time we come to ask about trees, because that gets translated and the question comes to us. So again, thank you very much and please offer these to continue this work.
Of course.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions?
I'll just have a comment. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo Alder Ficklin and appreciation for URI and forget that trees are a form of crime prevention, environmental design, and the more we think about the environment, they are. You jumping in on some, you know, where we can find trees as a way to help. And just overall collaboration, not just with the police, but with the community is really appreciated.
Thank you so much. I just also want to, like I said, that alders are one of the biggest for sending requests to us, and we are not a big enough organization to reach out to knock at your door. And so the more you can let your people in your community know that they can request them for free, and that we'll talk with them about what kind they like, that helps us tremendously. So I just want to express my appreciation to you all.
Yeah, and I will add what to Alder Miller's comment. You know, not only is it safer to plant trees, neighborhood safer, but also environmentally, they help cool a home, provide shade, provide, most importantly, oxygen. So your work is definitely appreciated. You've been around for a long time and it's great. And the collaboration between URI, I'm sure it has its challenges or has had its challenges, but working together always makes us accomplish more. So thank you for collaborating and working together. All the same.
Yes. In terms of getting actually in the trees and stuff, we usually before stitch into quick fix and if they could flag that and send it back to you. That's where most of it goes into trees and stuff.
Yep, and that's, see, click is the method that all of that is created when, you know, it's coming in from residents. The inventory is sort of a different spot where we can have a bigger picture, but for most of the ones that are just click fix, some are identified because we're in the driving throughout the city, but the inventory is a picture of exactly how many there are. But both are for finding them all.
Thank you.
And just you mentioned the street keeper. Is this accessible to the public to view only?
Yeah, no, there's a public facing page. So you can go in, you can enter your address, you can see the tree in front of your home and what its value is, stormwater it captures, its dollar value, that. There's parts that I can see and Colleen can see that the public can't, but there is, I believe, I don't know if it's on our website, it's on your website.
You can look any tree up.
Okay,
So it's on URI, not the city.
We could totally put it on there. I don't know why it's not on there, but it has this like dashboard. So you can see throughout the city all the trees, 28,650 or whatever it says there are right now.
Not to lose
Yeah, those haven't been. That's a good point with our inventory.
Yeah, we have inventory. Let's just where
those would be only like major parts that have been fully inventory. So that's what probably my history line is from. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Any other questions from, or comments from colleagues? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 8, unfortunately, we did not receive this grant, so we will just, at the end, just read and vote. At this time, I will ask if there is anyone from the public that would like to speak on any of these items from the agenda. For a second, if there is anyone from the public that would like to speak on any items that we discussed this evening, and for a third time, if there's anyone from the public that would like to speak or comment on any of the items we heard this evening, please come forward. Seeing no one, do I hear a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
Chair, I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do I hear a second? Motion has been made. Discussion on closing the public portion. Saying none, all in favor, say aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, ayes have it. As I mentioned earlier, we will no action on item 1, we will pass over that. Do I hear a motion to items 2, 3, and 4?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve item 2, 3, and 4 on the agenda.
Do I hear a second? The items have been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the 3 items for remediation of these properties?
Madam Chair,
All the same.
these are all drains that are going on in the state for remediation for most of it is a field, exception of all for the same line. I think these are made to go on to the state, so the city does not have to put the funding out of this fund for development. So I'm in favor. Yeah.
Thank you, Walter. Any further discussion? All the people?
Madam Chair, I'm sure this is in order. My question is pertaining to the contact construction. And certainly there will be noise for about a year or more, particularly with the power outages and the initial construction. I didn't want to, Paul is a good friend, we're a friendly city, but I am going to follow, Michael Paul has to follow up with their plans in terms of noise abatement. The visual will be an eyesore for a while. I mean, we know that there'll be a pyramid being built, but the construction of this pyramid is going to be an eyesore unless they have some sort of artistic, architectural way of designing. But the noise, the residents, and this is not on my word, but Walter Streeter, but the initial noise is going to be problematic with the time that they might do it. And so there's just some issues. I'm in full support of Concord, but this quality of life issue in the near term for the residents in the area.
I think maybe a meeting could be organized through the alders to discuss that and make sure the community is aware. These construction companies do need to follow our ordinance, and to be reminded of that. We do have laws in place for that reason. Fortunately or unfortunately, in order to build, we have to go through those rough patches of development. And yes, it will be noisy, but they do need to follow the ordinance. And the suggestion is to maybe set up a community meeting with the developer. Tonight, though, we'll be voting to approve and be a pass-through for these grants if we do receive them, because there's a big if. And yes, I hope that.
That's absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You know, with that, these grants
once accepted, is a good thing for our city to have clean land, obviously, because we want to make sure that whoever occupies the residence of these developers, these developers are building apartments. We want to make sure that our residents are safe in these apartments. So remediation, unfortunately, is necessary on some of our properties here due to our manufacturing from years on. So, you know, any money that we can help with that, help obviously offset the cost of some of these developers is great, particularly if they're offering affordable housing. So with that, I encourage my colleagues to support these items. Alder.
Well, on behalf of the saying about the vote, I and Morrison to go forward. We're having setting up a meeting about moving of the out the relocation. So we may could invite them there that we have in plan to have a meeting. I think it is in this month or this month. Yet know about the age of the else. Its current age of that where it's going to be. So you know, because the construction basic touches my ward and all the Morrison. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder. Any further discussion on these grants? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Item number 5, regarding another grant for energy efficiency improvement programs. Is there a motion? Does anyone want to move it?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to move item number 5.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Madam Chair, listening to the testimony of the director, this is a good partnership for a constituent, a resident, and will help with the installation and windows, pipes and so forth. And it's a grant, it's not spending any money. So again, the director, it's a constituent.
Thank you, Alder. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And nays, abstentions, the ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 6, and actually before we take a vote on item 6, we will need to make a small amendment, but first I need someone to move it.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move item 6 to make an amendment.
The item has been moved and seconded. Alder Singh, you'd like to propose the amendment for item number 6?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to propose the amendment of the previously submitted on page 62 with a garden for having these lands for the goal. Previously, it was presented as the address of the land, and then the second page, page 63, the amendment is to include the square footage of these lots. So I hereby make an amendment to adopt the page 62 amendment, include the square footage of these lots.
Okay, an amendment has been moved to include the approximate square footage of these properties. It was not included prior. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, the amendment has been proposed and seconded. Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, seeing none, we will take a vote on the amendment first and then on the item as amended. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? The amendment moves forward. And now we will take a vote on the amended item. All in favor of that item?
Aye.
Actually, we need discussion first. Is there any discussion on this item with the community garden? Any discussion?
Again, Madam Chair, this item was presented and in the original document, the square footage is not included, and the new document that's amended, the square footage is the included in this parcel.
Thank you, Alder. Any discussion? I'll just add that these community gardens are a godsend on many levels. We heard that it was a savior during COVID, getting people out socializing and, creating something healthy. So they are an asset to our city. I encourage my colleagues to support this 5-year lease agreement with the city to continue with the community gardens. And if there are no further discussions, we can take a vote. So all in favor of this item, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. Item number 7 is the one we just heard regarding the trees. Do I hear a motion to move item 7?
Madam Chair, make a motion to move item number 7.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Item has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Madam Chair, we just heard this item, and I'm very late to hear the presenter this item, along with the survey of the trees that need to be addressed, some need to be addressed, and they're going after a grant of $37,000, and hopefully this started and get some, some remediation of these trees and stuff. And I encourage them to go after them. So again, I applaud them and would like to recommend this item.
Thank you, Alder. Any further discussion? Okay, I too support this item. I encourage my colleagues to support it. It will help also alleviate some of our resources, city resources, to be able to manage, other stumps across the city. It sounds like there are quite a few on this map, and it'd be great for a nice clean, we can plant more trees as well. So with that, if there's some good discussion, we'll take a vote. All in favor of this item, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Do I hear a motion to move number 8 to read and file?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to move item number 8 on our agenda.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Item has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I will just say, this is a read and file only. We were unable to hear it this evening because we did not get this email, which is why it's a read and file. So, with that, we can take the vote. All in favor of reading and filing item number 8, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? The ayes have it. It will be read and filed. That concludes our agenda and our voting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
What, did you have a comment or adjourn? A comment. So before we adjourn.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think you guys have sensed by now, but I don't know, be consistent with the protocol. And I know it's really perhaps even inappropriate for you to help water to salute particular city employees. All of our city employees do a great job. Mr. Evan Traxton is a jewel here in terms of the city. Others of us would have different opinions about him, but I have a much short experience. I interact with him a lot. And just I guess one comment, I'm just impressed with his dedication to the city of Haven.
Well, thank you for that. I'm sure he will appreciate that compliment. And it's always nice to hear good things, right? Because we always hear negative, or not always, but we do hear a lot of negative, and positive reinforcement is encouraged. Thank you. And with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
The motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.